Is it
Right.
started?
Thank you. So, as mentioned by Rishabh, the agenda is pretty simple. The agenda is how to bag your first role or first job in Salesforce Marketing Cloud or SFMC. We'll be using this acronym SFMC. For those of you who are not aware, this stands for Salesforce Marketing Cloud. So, we'll be using this acronym across the conversation today. So, how to get the first job in SFMC? Which it applies to both three kind of people. First of all, who are freshers, who have negligible experience in terms of their professional life. Second, it could be applicable to people who have some experience and want to move into Salesforce Marketing Cloud. And third kind of people are there who are already might be in Salesforce domain but not in Marketing Cloud, and they want to move that. So this particular session will be baseline for all three categories of people who are there. And there are two key things that I want you to take away from this session by the end of this session. First one is, what are the tips, what are the places, what are the locations, what are the things that you need to do in order to get a job. So that is first thing that you should take away today. And second thing is some kind of motivation, some kind of that energy from this session, saying that it can be done, it's not impossible, it might be a bit difficult in the beginning, but it can be certainly done. So these are the two things I would request you to take away from this session. Fine, so we'll move on now. So I'm sure that why SFMC, this is a question that I've put over here. Why we should look into SFMC? But does this question needs any answering? Considering 50 plus people are there in the group, everybody is well versed with why we want to move into Salesforce Marketing Cloud. Is there any doubt over here in anybody's mind in terms of why we should actually move into Marketing Cloud? Because what I presume is, over here, since everybody is there to get into Marketing Cloud, kind of people are well versed with the fact that it is a growing economy within Salesforce umbrella. Marketing Cloud as a product, it's a growing economy. There's a lot of jobs, good jobs as well in Marketing Cloud. Hence, I'm not covering that in detail. So I'm presuming that everybody is aware of the kind of opportunities that are there within Salesforce Marketing Cloud, right? If that is not the case, please call it out on the chats. I am happy to share that information, that why we should require that. And what I'll also do is I'll paste us. So my one of my favorite sites is Salesforce Ben. So what I do is basically, if there is, so you can simply go and search in SFMC over here in Salesforce Ben. I do also do some kind of guest posting on here, and you can get a lot of latest articles with respect to the Marketing Cloud. So there's one or two good articles over here which tells you why basically we should actually move into Salesforce Marketing Cloud, which is basically saying, just give me a moment, I'll share that across so that you can have a good read of that. And this session is not driven by PPTs, by the way. This is driven by simple, solid online hands-on. So this is the article I was referring to. So basically, this talks about the money, average salaries in Salesforce ecosystem. And in one of those instances, this is Marketing Cloud also mentioned. So you do get to understand what are the salaries, current salaries that are there as a part of Marketing Cloud and Salesforce in general. And you can obviously make some sense out of it. I mean, it might not be applicable to India, it's Europe and America based, but at least you'll get some information about what is the range of salaries, what is the profile on which the salaries will be there. So this will give you good enough idea to actually answer that question, why should I do it SFMC, right? So I'll share this link over here for everybody's convenience and won't dwell into it too much, honestly.
So Pankaj, just quick thing here.
Mm-hmm.
I know like audience will be well versed with why they want to switch to
Right.
SFMC. There could be multiple reasons as per their opinion, like what they wanted
Mm-hmm.
to. But I would like you to like at least shed some light on
Right.
this for a couple of minutes. Why we should, and why companies are actually using SFMC.
Right. So, okay, fine. So then if that is the case, then I'll start with the basics. What is Salesforce Marketing Cloud? Salesforce Marketing Cloud is a platform. By the way, it was Exact Target, which was acquired by Salesforce. I think around 14 or 15, if I'm not wrong, around that time it was acquired. So it's Exact Target. It was Exact Target. And it's basically used for companies B2C companies, it can be used for B2B use cases as well, business to business, wherein it could be used for B2C as well, which is business to consumer. Like, for example, a telecommunication company called Airtel is actually reaching out to its customer. That is B2C use case. And it could be B2B as well, where companies like Salesforce are reaching out to partners. That could be a B2B or business to business use case. So it can be applicable, it's applicable for both of them. So what basically this product helps the companies do is to reach out to their customers in order to do all the marketing promotions, or in case of any other emails which are transactional in nature. So I'm presuming everybody would be aware that they must have got, if they are using in Indian context, they are using these delivery food delivery companies like Zomato and Swiggy. And as soon as you actually place an order, you get an email. That is one of the use case or examples of how Salesforce Marketing Cloud can be used to actually reach out to your customer. You must be receiving a lot of promotional emails from companies like Swiggy, Zomato, Uber across the world, which is trying to sell their services to them. So that is another use case where the marketing or promotional activities can be done with the help of Marketing Cloud. So these are some use cases or some scenarios that Marketing Cloud helps the companies with, right? So that is what Marketing Cloud is. And with respect to and what it can do to actually help the companies, what also is interesting is the adoption of Marketing Cloud. So I have been into Salesforce ecosystem for last 6 years. And when the moment I started from 2017, I think, when I started into Salesforce ecosystem, the adoption of Salesforce Marketing Cloud as a platform has been very big. So companies are slowly moving towards Salesforce Marketing Cloud as a platform for their B2B or B2C use cases. And the adoption has led to a sudden increase or increase in job opportunities, and the resources or the skilled resources in this area are actually less. The simple reason being that this platform is not applicable, or rather not open to people outside this ecosystem, Salesforce Marketing Cloud ecosystem. That is the customers who are using, the people who are working on that. it, Unlike Salesforce Service Cloud or Marketing Cloud, this is not freely available as a platform that you can go and sign up and start using it. So that's one of the reasons that there is dearth of skilled resources in this particular area. So that's one of the reasons. And again, as I said, companies have been adopting. So there's a demand supply gap, I would say, wherein adoption is high, but the people learning and actually reaching to this particular level that could be adopted, it could be rather they could be absorbed by the companies, is less. So that's the reason that it is a lucrative right now segment of the industry in terms of Salesforce ecosystem, uh, to actually latch on to, learn, and try and have a beginning into that. So I would say these are the couple of reasons, and where we should actually uh, try and capitalize as much as possible with the learnings that are available online, and try and put our effort towards actually getting the job. So the session post this will be following that, but yeah, that's the basic context behind what company does with Marketing Cloud, why it's a good bet in terms of the future for job market. And of course the salaries are increasing, which will give you a reference point, if not the exact objective value, but at least some reference point in order to go ahead with that. So anything on that, Amit? Anything the people have asked? Might have asked a lot of questions, but yeah, that's good that people are also answering those questions. So one
Yeah.
thing is for
So
sure.
yeah, there
Yes.
is one question that I you have already answered. That is like how to get the practice or for SFMC.
Right. So, okay, that's one of the other questions that comes primarily in any conversation. There is no freely available org, just like Sales and Service Cloud. So that's how it is, and it's been one of the biggest ideas, Salesforce ideas under Salesforce Marketing Cloud, that has been there for a long time. So, but however, there are some workarounds to learn. First of all, if you are working in any organization which is Salesforce, within Salesforce ecosystem, you do have access to partner orgs, if they are a partner, assuming. So you can try and see if you can learn from that facility. If not, then there are sessions like this in Tailblazer communities which talk about these sessions. In these sessions we talk about marketing cloud, detailed implementations. We showcase all the functionalities of marketing cloud. I personally have done multiple sessions showcasing the system, so that is another way of learning. Then there is a new tool which I'll be pasting the link over here in the session, in which you can actually, from a technical angle, you can learn AmpScript without having access to the platform. So for all of us, AmpScript is one of the scripting proprietary scripting language used in marketing cloud. So that there is a tool out there which is built freely available and built on Heroku, with the help of which you can actually learn AmpScript. So that is again something that you can learn without having access to the platforms. So these are top three things I would say that you can use it as a workaround if the platform or the org is not there for you to learn. But there's no straightforward answer to that. So that's some workaround that you can reach out to, right? Anything else, Ms, do you see, or can we move on? Anything big question?
Yeah, we can move on.
Right. Okay. So what next section will be dedicated to is how do I actually look out for jobs on various platforms. Okay, so this particular slide, in fact next two slides, is looking out for jobs for internship. So if you are a fresher just out of the college, how can you use Google and LinkedIn to actually look out for jobs for internship, so basically which requires basic or no experience into marketing cloud or digital marketing for that sake. So what you do is, if you go in Google, and as they say in Google, searching is an art. So you have to actually be well versed with that. So what you need to do is you need to go to Google and actually search for these two terms by anding them. Anding is a keyword which is used over here just to make sure you get relevant results for Salesforce Marketing Cloud. And what we'll do is now we'll go and see how to do that. So you'll get some reference point of the jobs that are there in the market, which are belonging to category of Salesforce Marketing Cloud and has got internship keyword in that. So that might help the people to actually go and look out for jobs with no or very minimal experience. Let me quickly do that. And just bear in mind, the context will be different for different people. So if I'm searching over here, the Google results will be entirely different, or different to what you will be searching, because it depends a lot on the context, location, what I have searched in the past. So just bear in mind, you won't get the exact results. So for example, if I done this Salesforce Marketing Cloud and internship, for example, see, these are the results that I get across in Google, right? So for example, the first one is intern software engineering. Okay, see, this is a job posted by Salesforce itself. Just bear in mind, a lot of these tips that I'm suggesting right now is applicable to Salesforce in general and marketing cloud in specific. So in some cases you will get some search results which are based out for marketing Salesforce. So always remember, if you are out of Salesforce ecosystem, it's better to be in Salesforce ecosystem and then look for SFMC. Okay, you might get a chance directly, that is good. If not, then try and be in Salesforce ecosystem and then look out for Salesforce Marketing Cloud within that. It's always helpful to be closer to your goal, if that is SFMC is the one, right? So this is one of the options that came across, where this particular Salesforce Marketing Cloud requirement is there and an internship is there, right? So for example, this thing, intern software engineer, but this is specifically looking for Salesforce, but that is fine. The idea is to give you a reference of how to look out for those jobs on Google, right? Let me see if there is, yeah, see this Merkle. With Merkle, this, they have clearly marked it out, Salesforce Marketing Cloud intern. Okay, so this, with the help of this, Merkle is a good company, as you know, as you might know. If not, then yeah, it's a good company. You should also reach out to them with the help of these listings. So this is how you can actually start looking into the jobs which are very basic or require some amount of experience to start with. So this is absolutely applicable for the people who are freshers. When I say freshers, what it means is who have just passed out of college or about to pass out of the college after 3 year or 4 year degree course, right? They do ask for some of the stuffs in some cases. In some cases, when I say stuff, some of the skills, like in this case, they are asking for basic knowledge of email, SMS, and post notification, right? But certainly they're not expecting any kind of hands-on experience. You can certainly read about it, make yourself quite confident with the knowledge which is there on uh, Google, and then you can actually apply for those jobs, right? So I hope that makes sense in terms of how to look out for intern related jobs or fresher related jobs, in specifically in Salesforce Marketing Cloud or Salesforce, right? Okay, keep on posting your question, guys. I might not be able to answer all of them, but since Amit and team and other people are there, we can collate it if you want later on. But yeah, keep on posting. The second tip was how to do the same thing on LinkedIn, right? uh, by the way, I am presuming, and if not, I'm hoping right now that everybody who is there looking out for a job or in general in professional career is active on LinkedIn and Twitter. These two platforms are really good. I would vouch for LinkedIn honestly because I am pretty active on that. Twitter also helps, but LinkedIn is something that I believe that helped me a lot. In fact, my last three jobs were based off came from LinkedIn, people reaching out to me upfront, and then that's how it went. The current job also that I'm hosting or right now I'm having is uh, it came from LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is a very powerful tool or platform. Anybody over here like Amit, Rishabh will vouch for it. So please do use out to its full capacity. Just don't be scrolling and uh, just seeing what jobs are there. Try and add your point of view. Try and add your comment, which has to be obviously uh, uh, relevant. But please use that platform. Don't only simply consume, right? Okay. So second one is how to do it on LinkedIn. Similar process for that. So I'll show you that. And the steps remains the same in this case as well. So over here, what I'll do is I'll just add colons so that it picks exact same string. And let's see. Okay. See, there are multiple options filter over here. So what I'll do is I will, okay, my bad. Yes. So I should do it for post over here, for example. I'll select the post. So whoever has made the post with Salesforce Marketing Cloud and has got the internship keyword will be picked over here. So I'll put some more filters over here that posted within last month and sort by latest, some of the other filters that I'm putting right now. Right. So let's quickly scroll through and see if there is anything relevant for us. Last time searched, it was a bit different for me, but certainly there would be something that is coming across over here as well in LinkedIn. So right, there's not much content over here in this particular case, but I hope you get the gist of what I'm trying to say. So if I'll, let me see if I can remove that and I'll get some more keywords. Right. For example, this post is there which got stuck, but this is for Marketing Cloud, but doesn't look like there is anything for internship. You have to actually then that you have to do that homework. By the way, remember that somebody told me looking for a job is full-time job, so you have to spend a lot of time over there.
Yeah,
Right.
one thing,
That's,
Pankaj,
mhm.
just to add, they can also go to the jobs tab, the third one
Right.
from the left, and then there they
I
can also search.
I will come to that. Yes, this is simple post-related search. I'll come to that as well.
Okay.
Yes. So as of now, it doesn't look like there is a relevant post, but yes, I think you got the idea. So basically what we need to do is go to the post tab and search for the relevant keywords that are there. The same thing that we did in Google, we have to follow the same thing on LinkedIn. And this, let me tell you, job is something which is this job tab, which I'll talk about, is everybody uses that. But if you can use this post tab to your advantage, it's very good. It's very effective. So I'll talk about that in detail. But yeah, so that was my two key cents about how to look out for jobs for internship purposes, or for a fresher, or for somebody who has negligible experience in their professional life and wants to start in marketing cloud, or in a general sense in Salesforce as well. This is applicable for Salesforce as well, not necessarily only for marketing cloud, right? What is the next way? Okay, so again, if you don't have experience uh, with the marketing cloud, then, and you have some experience with, let's say, other technologies, development technologies or business consulting, there could be other things, you can start looking for volunteering work. Okay, but what volunteering means is you can actually go out and work for an organization. Okay, volunteer your skills, and it's free, and it's for a cause, of course, because it's for non-profit organizations. You can go over there, you can register and look out for projects that can be really helpful. What are the advantages of looking out this is, since it is for less people apply for that, there's always dearth of resources, and it's for free, so not many people are aware, they don't apply for it. And that biggest advantage is, since they are accommodating in nature, they can, if you tell them upfront that you have experience in, not experience in marketing cloud but in Salesforce or in other technologies, but you're ready to learn and contribute, they are accommodating. So that is one of the biggest advantage of actually trying to volunteer with different organizations. So what I've done is over here, and I'll also talk about my story, that how I landed up in Salesforce ecosystem. So 6 years back only I moved into Salesforce ecosystem. Prior to that, I was out of Salesforce ecosystem, and this Cashfire site, this was the site with which I actually made my first move into Salesforce ecosystem. So I got a project via them, and that's how I started to work on that. So that gave me the hands-on advantage vis-a-vis a person who has only theoretical knowledge and actually applying for a job. So I do have theoretical knowledge, and then with this particular volunteering opportunities, you do have very solid hands-on knowledge as well. But always be honest and upfront with two things: the skills that you have, like for example in this case you don't have SFMC skills, but the job is for that. And second thing is the time that you can provide. Assuming you are working, then you can only contribute, let's say, 1 to 2 hours daily, for example. You have to be upfront about that. And once you have committed, then please do make sure that you don't uh, break that trust. So here, what I've done is I've listed 3 or 4 websites with the help of which you can actually bag a voluntary work, which can be couple of weeks, couple of months. For me, it was, I think, 2 to 3 months that I worked, and then I had to move out. I told them honestly, and they said they were fine for me to go. So that's how it works in volunteering world. And of course, once you start looking into it, you'll read more about it specifically. But yes, what I've done is I've listed next 3 pages of websites which, with the help of which you can get some voluntary work. Remember, not every website will have very good, technically good work. There's work for which you, with the help of which you can learn. It could be Salesforce, it could be SFMC. Salesforce is very vast, so you get options of getting Salesforce work a lot, not necessarily for SFMC. So just bear in mind these websites, keep on looking with that. Right now you might get or you might not get. Right, then when I actually, couple of months back when I posted this article, then there were these web jobs that were up over there. Right now if I'll go and search, which I'll do now, you might not get everything which is listed. So just take it with a pinch of salt, that you might get, you might not get, but the idea is to be persevere and keep on looking for that. Right, so let me just quickly show you these examples. In the meantime, if there is any question, Amit, help me to just let me know so that I can answer. But yes. Right. So these are search projects. Right. So over here, you can, there's a lot of options for information technology, which, remember, this is for everything. So you might have to look for which kind of work you are looking for and then search for it. So in this case, let me search for Salesforce Marketing Cloud. If they have something, it will match. Okay, there's nothing for Salesforce Marketing Cloud right now listed. So let me only do it for Salesforce. Right. See, there are certain projects which are there, jobs in which you have to, let's say in this case, create reports. Okay, and this is only Salesforce, but the same logic or steps apply for Marketing Cloud as well. See, in this case, they have to help them to create a report, and this is primarily for 1 to 4 weeks. See, the idea with this is if somebody doesn't have a hands-on, they will learn. You can learn beforehand, of course, and because somebody will take a small interview with for you as well, and then you can help them to do that so that it serves both the purposes. They get somebody to help, and you also learn something in change, and obviously it's for good cause as well, so nothing can replace that. See, this is customer database setup, customer database audit. Some Salesforce training needs to happen. So you have to provide them Salesforce training. Okay. So some of the modules, it could be sales module or whatever the case may be. But I hope you get the gist of it, what I'm trying to say. This is one of the places where you can look out for voluntary work. Right now, there's nothing listed for SFMC, but it can come up tomorrow. And Salesforce is there as you saw that. So this is one of the good places. And I started, as I said, I started my Salesforce journey with this website where I got a project for Salesforce to implement. I think it was a implement integration with a payment provider. Swipe it was, if I'm not wrong. Stripe, sorry, not Swipe, Stripe. So that was the project that I can recollect, and I did it there for a couple of months. And I told them honestly that I'm new to Salesforce ecosystem, but I'm ready to learn by searching, googling, and asking those questions. So they were happy to me for me to be on board. So that's where it is. So moving on, another website would be Pro Bono. Okay, again, see, when I last searched over there before for preparing this PPT or presentation, this job was listed. So Salesforce Marketing Cloud Connector, right? If you do it tomorrow, it might not be there. So just be cognizant of that fact. By the way, this is Australian-based organization, and just giving an example across the world so that everybody over here in the room, if it is if it is applicable for Indian context as well as for international context. So let me search. Over here is option for voluntary.
Yeah, so sorry to interrupt, Pankaj here. Could you
Yeah,
please just put the link here in the chat? And there are a couple of questions, so I think we can take them and then we can continue
right,
with this.
right. So what I'll do is, Amit, I'll just quickly show these sites because the process remains the same in all of them, and then we'll take questions for this section. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'll put that. Anyways, these links are there as a part of this PPT. So once I share it across, everybody will have access to that, right?
yep.
Okay. So yeah, so I was coming back. Yeah. So let me search for Salesforce for now. Salesforce Marketing Cloud. Why it's not taking? I'm not sure why this search is not there. Search is not. Oh, it's not happening. So yeah, so you will get some projects which are related to Salesforce or Salesforce Marketing Cloud, and you can obviously apply for that. Then there will be a conversation or a discussion or an interview in any scenario. And then once you are transparent and honest, and obviously the idea is to show some skills that you already have. And once that if both you and the non-profit organization that you are applying for are happy with that, you can certainly get onboarded and start working on the sidelines if you have a job or if you are looking for one in this ecosystem. So these are some of the good in scenarios. For some reason this search is not working for me, so that's fine. What I have done is there's another one that I've mentioned over here, third one, that is volunteer match. Again, all the links are there in the websites, this one in my PPT's notes section, so that should not worry about these links that you'll forget. Don't worry about. But yeah, these are the three options, and mind you, these are not only okay. These are the ones that when I was looking for, then I googled, I came across this top of the link search, it could be different for your search. You need to look out for that, right? Okay. So yeah, that from a standpoint of having an opportunity into volunteering, these are some of the websites, and there is one more uh, link that I wanted to share and talk about was, okay, so probably, okay, I thought I mentioned something. Fine. There's one more place. If you go to Trailblazer network, I'm not sure. You have to have a, I think, partner access to that. There are a lot of groups which are non-for-profit based. Okay. So you can simply search non-for-profit profit Trailblazer. Okay, so you will get a lot of links over there. What I'll do is also, since I didn't get specific links, so I haven't pasted in the website, but certainly, sorry, in my slide deck, what I'll do is I'll also share those across. So like for example, this one we have got group non-profit discussion. So you latch onto those forums and see if there is something that is for you, that you contribute, ask for help, right? So that is something that can be helpful for you. So I gave you four. See, so this is a public group as well. So what I'll do is, once you join this group, you will have those discussions around that. Okay, so this since it is not there, what I'll do is I'll put it across in my slide deck as well, so that you can make use of this link. Okay, so with respect to voluntary, we can certainly now take some questions. Let me. So if I go back to that, it becomes infinite mirror. So Amit, you need to help me out, please.
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, there is one question from Prachi. She's asking, I have 1.5 years of experience in SFMC,
Right.
and I did not get much exposure on the org. Now I have resigned from the current organization. So, how can I deep dive into SFMC?
Okay, so I mean, till the time you have access to that org, please make use of it. First of all, let's say if you have left, then there is no use. If you are still there in your notice periods, try and learn as much as possible from an org perspective. Then second option is try and join these networking events. There was a good implementation series that happened, that's conducted by Shibu Abraham, an MVP, just like Amit. That was deep dive into implementation, wherein, so it would be good for you, somebody like you who has around 1.5 years of experience, to actually go and look into those. So org wise, there's no simple answer. The honest answer is no, you don't have access. But from the knowledge that you have, at least some bit of context you have, you can try and relate to that by going into those specific sessions. So that will be a help. So you just Google Shibu Abraham implementation series in LinkedIn, and you should be able to get that link. So that is what I can suggest. Org wise, I there's nothing that you can do as of now if you have resigned. Yes.
So, I think that was good. Yeah, as Pankaj mentioned, as you are in notice period, you definitely be having the access to the org. And I'm assuming that as you are having Salesforce Marketing Cloud experience, you must be having a different company where you are joining as a Salesforce Marketing Cloud, either email specialist or other Marketing Cloud tech. So you definitely will be getting. So that is one thing, and then other thing, there is one question which is even that's really good question. So the companies like Nagaro, IBM, Capgemini, or even other companies, any other companies, try to find out the candidate who has kind of knowledge of all the studios, like Integration Studio, CDP, Social Studio, Mobile Studio, Email Studio, Web Studio, studios that are there, and the development knowledge like SSJS, HTML, CSS as well.
Right.
So when the candidate who is really starting his or her career, or even say that he or she have 1 or 2 years of experience, how they can prepare for such kind of job descriptions?
Right. So see, from So there are two things in this particular question that you asked, and I'll take one by one. One is the knowledge of studios and builders. That's the combination in marketing cloud. You have studios and builders. And second thing is the technical knowledge, the knowledge for example, AMP script, the knowledge for example, your SSGS, right? So these are two. No, I won't say different things, but certainly these are the two different things based on your question. Looks like the question is coming from development background, where the expectation is to be a developer or a marketing cloud senior developer or a tech lead, whatever the case may be. So I would suggest, first of all, do first thing is I mentioned the name of the platform. Use that platform to learn AMP scripts. Okay, you can learn on your own. There's a lot of free material out there. Just need to look for it. uh, there is a lot of material to learn AMP script. Okay, and you can practice it in that platform. What I'll do is I'll try and look out for that link, certainly, because that is very very good for used for everybody. What I have done AMP script on that. I haven't. What I know is it is useful for SSJS as well if you want to learn. I haven't used it for SSJS. Certainly for AMP script, basic functions and understanding is good enough in that. So that is certainly first thing that you can do. As far as knowledge in studios and builders is concerned, see, from the background that you're coming from, development background, if you have understanding of what each builder does, what is the functionality of that you can certainly look out from two different places. First is your these sessions like this in Trailblazer community. A second thing is the understanding that you have from working into development background. If you have any information from SFMC, if not, then these sessions are good enough for you to understand what, for example, email studio does, what, for example, interaction studio does, what, for example, automation does. All those things with these sessions, you should be in a good situation to actually understand what automation, for example. And I'm only talking about basic bread and butter uh, modules of marketing cloud. I'm not going into CDPs of the world or interactions. Let's be clear that email studio still works a lot. Companies do expect you to know interaction, they ask about it, fine, but these email studio, mobile studio, the automations, journeys, these mark the basic basis of any marketing cloud understanding. So please have that. Interaction studio is good to have. In some cases it might be apparent, but fine. So make sure you understand these studios and builders with the help of these sessions. And technical knowledge, if you're asking, you can use that link that I'll be sharing, so you can do hands-on and Google, and there's a lot of information available online. I think that was comprehensive, I'm assuming.
Yes, Pankaj, that was really helpful. So there is a question from Rutuja that is saying, I have 5 years of web technology experience, and then I have a gap of 6 to 7 years in the career. Will it be appropriate for me to go with Salesforce SFMC internship?
Okay, internship wise, I would suggest, first of all, the answer is yes. Not for internship, but certainly SFMC. You have some experience, 5 years of experience, so that makes you eligible that you have some experience. And this is some kind of story that also had. I had some experience in my as before joining to Salesforce ecosystem. So you have to make some use of that experience or mold that experience in such a way that it's applicable for marketing cloud. So in your case, since you have web technology experience, that means you have development experience, and the knowledge of AMP script and SSGS as a part of marketing cloud will be really helpful. So you try and channelize that experience into learning these new technologies, because these languages, it's a way of communicating or completing a business requirement. Web technologies is also a way of doing a business requirement, right? So it's just how differently it is done over here. So I would certainly say don't eye for internships. You have 4 to 5 years of experience. Try to get into a development, SFMC development role, right? With the help of learning SFMC and SSJS. And you can, other profiles are also open, but I'm trying to relate to the experience that you had. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Pankaj. That was really good. I was expecting the next question, which is here. And that next question is certification required to get a job?
Okay, so it's a very debatable question again, just like in any other certification topic in Salesforce. I would say yes. The simple reason being, if I am a person and two people are actually applying for a job, and let's say they have same years of experience, let's say zero or it could be two. The person who has more number of certifications, at least for an interview phase, to getting a call for an interview, the person in amongst two of us whoever has more this thing certifications will get a call. Because I do also conduct interviews. If somebody has certificates, I'm not saying he's intelligent, but certainly he makes a cut for an interview. So because getting interview is actually an elimination process. So we get, let's say, 20 profiles and we have two roles. So we have to eliminate. We cannot take interview for all 20 people. So there has to be some criteria. One of the criteria is generally used is certifications. And this is only from an employer perspective. When I'm talking from an employee perspective, doing a certification also helps you to enhance your knowledge. It goes without saying. So it helps you in that aspect as well. So my answer is yes, okay, for that particular question. But again, as I said, it's a debatable topic, but my recommendation is please go for it. It will help you.
Okay, good. I think you got the answer to your question.
Right.
Then again, we have a question from Megha.
Mm-hmm.
She's saying that I'm a fresher to Salesforce domain. I have applied to various organizations, but again, they're not getting a calls for the interviews as she have career gap, I think 2-3 years. So is
Okay.
it possible to enter into SFMC with having that much of career gap?
Okay. So let me be clear with everybody over here. Career gap is not an issue. It might make things a bit difficult for you in terms of going, let's say one of the examples was for 5 years and then a couple of years, I think 4 5 years again a gap. It might be a bit difficult, but these days a lot of big companies that I've heard like Deloitte and IBM, they want to actually get women back into the professional lives who have taken the career breaks because of whatever is personal responsibilities that they had. So don't be bogged down with the fact that you have a career gap. It's okay to have a career gap. When I take an interview, I don't look it as a bad thing. You had a personal choice, you took it. That's okay. As far as you are good enough for my interview, I have no issues with that. And I think similarly, if people over here who have experience in SFMC might be taking interview, they would be having the same kind of thought process. If you can qualify my interview, I'm good with that. Whether you have 4 years of a gap or 1 year or zero, it doesn't matter to me. So don't be bogged down. Okay. And answering the second part, absolutely you can make it through to SFMC. You haven't divulged any details in terms of what the previous question was. Otherwise, I would have actually specifically spoken about how you can make it, what kind of profile you should be getting into. But yes, the answer is absolutely yes. You should be able to make it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, just to add, are not getting into, please don't get motivated. That is a very first and important thing, because if you get demotivated, then it's going to be difficult for you.
Right. And I'll tell you, looking for a job is a full-time job, as I said earlier. So interview, not getting an interview is fine. And getting demotivated temporarily is also okay, because that's how human tendency is, psychology is. But don't go and get bogged down for long. Keep on looking. It will take some time, but it will happen eventually. It'll take for some people it takes weeks, some people months. So it depends, but certainly it will happen. Okay, so don't worry about it. Reach out to people, right kind of people, which I'll talk about in the slides. But what else you can do apart from these things that I'm talking about in order to stay motivated, get in touch, and earn more understanding.
Yeah, I think that is quite information. It's been, I think it might have happened to everyone. Say that I have cleared, like there is a next question from Prachi. She's asking, I have cleared all the rounds for a company XYZ, and I have mentioned my salary expectations, but now after giving all the interviews, there is no communications from HR. She's just chasing the HR of the company, but is not there is no communication. So what could be the reason? The salary part, or what could be?
Okay, I have honestly no clue. It could be multiple. It could be salary. Generally, if it is a salary, I presume that generally it's shot down at the first stage only, where the expectation is asked, and if you are way beyond that bracket, then they might say you don't fitting. It Another reason could be that the position has gone on hold, or the third, which is a very common reason, is somebody else has been selected. Because like just like you, couple of people would be interviewed for that particular job post, which is, let's say, less in number. So the chances are somebody else has made the cut. and the HRs don't respond to your questions saying that what happened to your profile. So that could be one of the reasons. Don't take it to your heart. It's a very common thing that happens in the industry. Just make sure you do two things. First of all, I'm presuming for all the rounds, you must have written down all the questions that were asked. That's a practice I would recommend everybody to do over here. Make a note of all the questions that were asked in the interview. Once the interview happens, make a note of all of them. I do it as a practice. I have Excel, which has got all the questions that were asked for my previous interviews, 3 rounds, 3 tabs for that particular thing. So, and I make sure that I look out for answers as well, go around. So, after let's say giving enough interviews, the questions will be similar in nature. Remember that. So that's the beauty of it. So I hope you have done that. If not, make a note of it, and secondly, move on. That's okay. It's a normal day-to-day work for you. I understand it's a setback, but that's okay. Move on. That things happen like that. I mean, it could be multiple reasons. I said, move on. That's okay, and keep on chasing. But from your thought process, move on to the next opportunity.
Yeah, I think that is something where we don't know what could be the actual reason behind this. So, as Pankaj said, just move on and try to figure out other opportunities. And if they need, they will definitely get back to you.
Right.
Yep. So there is another. I think the questions are flooded. So I'll
Okay.
try.
No,
I'll try
that's
to
okay.
pick.
That's good
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah. So there is a question from Jafar. He's saying I have 5 years of experience in digital marketing,
Hmm.
and I want to switch my career in SFMC. But as usual, recruiters are asking the hands-on experience in the tool. So I think for this, Jafar, as Pankaj mentioned, you can try to go for a volunteer opportunity from the mentioned website that Pankaj has said, and even you can try to join Salesforce group. There, you will also get to work in at least in SFMC tool, and then side by side, you can also look for opportunities.
Let me add to what Amit was saying. For everybody over here, and taking a clue from this question, there's ample information. In fact, there is over information for Salesforce in right now on the internet. It's just a matter of how to look and where to look, which is not easy, honestly. But certainly, there are places where you can do that. So information is there. It's just you need to see how to actually absorb that knowledge. And hands-on, I mean, as I said, volunteering is a very good activity. You can attending these sessions, try and see if somebody if some of the your current organization is using, they must be using some tool for digital marketing, right? Make sure you are well versed with that tool, because I have personally taken interviews of people who are working in a different tool, but they have very solid knowledge of the process, digital marketing process. Because at the end of the day, digital marketing remains the same in every tool that you do. The way of doing it, the mechanisms, nuts and bolts change. That's fine. But as far as this thing is solid with your understanding, we do sometimes consider if the requirement is there. So don't be bogged down. Just make sure you keep on going. Make yourself thick skin, everybody. Things will happen. Makes move on.
Yep. So just one thing, as Pankaj said, the organization must be using another tool, and that hit me that I'm using Mailchimp as a marketing tool for me. So you can basically go, it's free, you can sign up, and there are a similar kind of process like creating the welcome journeys and other journeys, or creating the campaigns. So you can also pay for that tool, and then by using that tool, you'll basically get hands-on on the digital marketing process, how the actually process
Correct.
works out there. That will be really helpful, that will be good experience. Even that
Absolutely.
helped me to learn marketing cloud. So that is something you can explore with.
Right. And for learning, you can go to HubSpot. There's a lot of literature in HubSpot that is good to learn. So basically, with the help, the trick that I'm is talking about, you can learn two things. First of all the processes. What is bounces? For example, I spoke to that candidate and he was very solid about how the bounces are handled in his system. What are the different type of bounces? How the system behave external, as in how the ISPs behave. So at least that knowledge is solid with him in his current tool. It's a matter of using a different tool, which is fine. So make sure you are well versed with that. Yeah.
Yeah. So next question is from Susma. She is from a non-IT background, and she is marketing cloud admin. What path should I go?
Right. So that means you have the basic question that everybody is asking. You have got it sorted, which is org access. You have org access. and you have some understanding or knowledge or experience on Salesforce Marketing Cloud. So those two big questions that everybody else is facing apart from you is there with you. So now next, there are multiple streams in Marketing Cloud. Two major ones that I can think of. The one that I am right now working is solution architect, consultant slash solution architect, where solutioning is there. Coding to an extent is not there. Obviously, it helps to understand all the nuances of it. So that is one path which I have taken, consultant slash solution architect. And there is another path which is called totally into development, where you can become developer, senior developer, then technical architects. So these two roles primarily stem out from Marketing Cloud that you can choose depending on the choice, the likings you have, and secondly the kind of experience you have. So that those are the two profiles I can simply talk about top of my head.
Yeah. So one thing again, this question was I was expecting at least the career, or what would be the growth of SFMC in next upcoming 3 to 5 years in terms of salary, in terms of
Mhm.
market demand, and basically for the person who is switching from a different cloud like Sales or Service Cloud.
Absolutely. And this was one of the questions when I was moving into Salesforce ecosystem. This was a question that I asked myself and Googled around and asked people. First of all, the simple trajectory is like this. If you can see my video, that's how it is, if not like this. So Salesforce as a platform is growing leaps and bounds. And you can get those links in one of those slides that I'll share across in terms of salaries to give you a reference. Uh, there are a lot of jobs in this ecosystem, and in Marketing Cloud the jobs are abundant because of the simple fact that is there are not many people with experience because it's not freely available. So the demand supply is screwed in this case, where jobs are there people because companies are adopting, but the resources are not there because nobody can enter it this ecosystem easily, SFMC ecosystem. So that I would say certainly it has good career future. uh, I can personally say 3 to 4 years. God knows in 10 years, nobody's sure, nobody. But yeah, I can particularly see from where I'm coming from last 3 4 years, we are going leaps and bounds in the SFMC ecosystem with the number of jobs, the salaries. Uh, I have given interviews in the past. I have taken interviews, so I get both sides of the table context that it is a good place to be for next 3 to 5 years. I would say certainly.
Yeah, hope that was helpful. So I have 15 years of experience in financial service industry. 1 year
Mhm.
back, I shifted my career to SF. I'm fine with Salesforce admin part, but not able to get development. What is suitable for me?
So this 15 years of experience, I'm presuming it is in technical uh, domain, for example, some kind of web technologies or Java or something. If that
Service industry.
industry is fine, but was it technical? That's a domain. So I was wondering if it is a technical profile or it's a consultant profile where it's more about consulting and all. In either of the cases, I'll answer that question in both the scenarios. So if you have that 15 years of experience in financial industry, uh, doing technical role, which is coding,
Um,
and then
Pankaj, it's a non-technical.
non-technical, so let's say consultant, business consulting, client facing role that you have, right? So since you have that admin role already, you said SFMC admin, you have already got it, right? That's what you suggested in the question. So in that case, you have the access to the org. For you, I would recommend growing into the consultant space, which I did. Basically what this consultant does is talks to the customer, elicit the requirements and solutions also, and works with a technical architect to actually define that exact solution and then gets it developed. So that's in the end-to-end software lifecycle. This is one of the roles of the consultant that I have played. Bear in mind, with a pinch of salt, consultant means different things in different organizations, right? And these days, the lines, boundaries between technical and functional is pretty blurred. The more technical hands-on you have, the better chances you have in the industry in terms of job opportunities, pay, scale, as well as this thing of yours, command of the project. So so that I would recommend for you. This could be one of the paths uh, based on your previous experience. And yeah, that's I think would be a good path for you.
Yeah, thanks, Pankaj. So there is one question from Rohan. I'm sorry, Rohan, we are not here to discuss salary when we are not the right people to
Right.
discuss salary. So I'll just skip your question. Okay, there is one question where again I have 6 years of experience in Salesforce production support area.
Mhm.
Development experience. I'm not able to pass the interviews. Can I consider moving to SFMC or any other cloud in Salesforce? How can I improve my development experience?
Right. So I think Amit, you can better answer that question from a technical standpoint. But one thing I would say, if you are developer, if you have that production support guy, uh, try and expand horizontally, which I'll talk about quickly. Within the same role, try and learn end to end of your project. You are in one particular zone. Try and understand end to end how the requirements are coming when it is getting developed, and then you are coming as a production support. So you are one of the last in the software development life cycle. Try and understand the whole end-to-end process and how the teams are developing. Officially, unofficially, it's up to you. Make some friends, try and understand how they are doing, and then learn those languages which are required in Salesforce ecosystem. It could be Apex, it could be other things, and Amit can add to that. But my expectation would be, or my recommendation would be, try and grow horizontally in whatever you are doing, and have end-to-end understanding from a domain process perspective and technical language perspective. What is the technical language that is used, like for example Apex, whatever they are using in your current project. If you have that understanding, you will certainly be able to crack the interviews. Not the first one, not the second one, but probably third, fourth, fifth, you will be certainly be able to crack. That's what my recommendation is, and Amit can add to it.
Yeah, so if I talk about in terms of technical development, there are so many things that you can go with. But again, it's your choice, like which path you want to. Either you're comfortable with development or you're comfortable with consulting or admin things. So if you are comfortable with consulting or admin, then you can go with SFMC, or there are other clouds available like financial, health, or CPQ. You can go with that. If you are comfortable with development, then definitely you can go with, you have option to available out there in various YouTube channels. You can definitely reach out to those YouTube channels. Search for the trainings. Even like there is a very good training which is available in Apex hours. So you can just start from there. Definitely, like if you have a dedication and you had decided to learn and you wanted to move it, definitely you can move it. There is no such barrier which can be there in order to, like, which cannot prevent you to go there. So again, Gaurav, we have already covered your question on how to search the jobs. So we'll save the recording. So you might have missed it in the starting. We talked about how to search the jobs. So okay, can you please give us an overview about the questions that generally asked for SFMC interviews? Pankaj, you're on mute.
Yeah, thanks for pointing. So I'll share a link from Salesforce Pen, the reliable sources of information, an article by Manish Thadri, again an MVP, which has got top 30 questions for Salesforce Marketing Cloud. So that's a good starting point for you in this particular case. So, job. So there is Manish. This is a good place to for you to start with. And then again, a simple Google search will also give you this same link that I'm talking about. But yeah, search for that Manish Thadari article in Salesforce Ben, and you should be able to have the top 30 questions that you should be aware to prepare for Salesforce interviews. I mean, not exhaustive one, but something to start with to answer your question. Yeah.
Yeah, just to add, like these are the questions which are really common, but again, the we don't know what is there in the mind of interviewer. We You must need to make sure, okay, whatever you have done in your project, you are well versed about what the project was, how you did, what was your role. It is really important to understand what your role was, because that is going to drive the interview.
Right.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So yeah, then there is one question that we have got is, I've done my graduation in 2020, and that my stream was mechanical industry. Is it okay to consider IT work?
Simple, Rizwan. Absolutely, yes. If you want, and as Amit said, probably in previous questions, if you have some thick skin in terms of making a cut, certainly yes, you can do that. Jobs are there. I mean, if job opportunity is something that you're looking at, absolutely it's there, especially in SFMC ecosystem and in general Salesforce ecosystem. You can make a safe bet on this IT world, especially in Salesforce for now, by moving from mechanical. Of course, everything depends on your choice, but yes, I would, being in this ecosystem for some time, and Amit can vouch for it, there are opportunities and it's growing and growing by day and day.
Yeah, I have just to add a few things. Like I have seen many people, even my if I say three or four friends of mine, or even from non IT background, so they are someone from EC or someone from civil, so they are really doing good. So you don't need to worry about what your stream was in the college level. And just to add, like in college level, even we don't usually get what exactly is there in the industry. So if you want, you can definitely vouch for the IT work. And just first of all, you need to make sure what you want to go with, and then based on that, search for resources, seek help from the community, and you'll definitely land a job. It might take time, but you'll definitely land a job. So there is another question: is it important or a skill to have a email specialist certifications before SFMC?
So as far as I recollect, email specialist, there is a precursor to that. There is a admin, Salesforce admin exam is there uh, to pass before actually getting email certification. So you have to actually go through an admin, which they have introduced probably a year or year and a half back. When I did my email certification, then there was no Salesforce admin exam. So I was like lucky in that case. But you have to go through that. And email specialist is specifically for, as I said, there are modules or different features. Email Studio, it is Email Studio, basically email marketing, that is, it covers that part. So certainly it can help, as I said, certifications, admin and email certification, email specialist will help you to prove to the interviewer, at least on paper, that you are a good candidate who has done hands on marketing cloud, and then rest depends on your knowledge that you prove in the interview.
Finally, we are in with the questions.
Right.
So yeah, at last, you have been phenomenal for answering most of the questions out there. So thank you very much for helping us. Yep, over to you, Pankaj. If you have,
Right. So I have a couple
yeah,
of more things up my sleeves. I'll just quickly take you through that. It's already 1 hour 15 minutes. I won't. For next 5 or 10 minutes, I'll talk about some more things that you can do on LinkedIn to actually enhance your job search. Okay. And then last slide, I'll talk about a bit of how to do whatever the questions were there. I'll talk about that as well. So let me share my screen back.
yeah, and also thanks, Marisa. She has shared few links and few really information about marketing cloud consultant, admin, and email specialist exams. So you can also check there is a link in the chat window. You can just check if you want to go with the Salesforce certifications, like especially to George.
Right, and that's the power of community. I mean, thank you guys for doing that, because I don't know answers to all of the question, neither does Amit. It's just the matter of that we work as team and then try and answer all the questions. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So next part was how do I do Salesforce job search? So this is specifically for job you have let's say example some experience in Salesforce ecosystem, SFMC ecosystem. This probably caters to that particular category of people. So if you, I'm not sure you are aware, but Salesforce Ben has actually recently launched a job portal. Okay, the job portal basically talks about the jobs which are there in Salesforce ecosystem, but Salesforce Marketing Cloud is also there. So something that will help you from a job search perspective. Recently launched, good amount of jobs are there. One good thing that you will find over here, and I thought I'll highlight it, is there are some jobs available with visa sponsorship as well, so that might interest you as well. But this job site is based on Salesforce Ben, so that's a good thing. So if you see over here, employment with visa sponsorship, so it does give you some flexibility in terms of if you want to look, if you are looking for a job in a foreign country, especially in context of India, then it would be helpful. So you can search for that Salesforce Marketing Cloud, and then based on that you can look for jobs. So just one example of doing that. Then next option that I was talking about is again LinkedIn job search via that LinkedIn share. So this was what Amit was talking about. So this job tab is specifically dedicated for searching the jobs. Okay. So now what I've done is I had already searched for one key job title, which is called Salesforce Marketing Cloud. There are a lot of filters over here. Okay, that you can use based on whatever criteria you wanted. Let's say I'll say past month, for example, and you can select the experience level as well, internship as well. You can select that I spoke about earlier. Over here as well, you can do that, and with that filters you can play around in terms of locations and etc. And then you see there are a lot of jobs that are set over here, and you can set an alert for yourself as well. Create this as an alert for this criteria, and it'll keep on emailing you the jobs if it sets the filter criteria. So I'll take one example and just show that. So EPAM, for example, EPAM is also a good company. So SFMC solution architect role is there. Like this is how you can search that, and then you can apply it. The application process might happen on LinkedIn, or it could be on their local site or a third party site. That's okay. But yeah, this is how you can search SFMC consultant, Kimberly Clark, Deloitte. Like this, you can search. Then if there is something on Salesforce as well, it gets posted. You get it covered here as well. So that's where I would suggest for you to actually look for jobs straightforward. Another way is through posts. This is also very critical. I'm not sure many people use it in a way that it should be used. I use it heavily. Rather than jobs, I use this thing. So for example, past month, if I'll select, and I'll put a filter saying that latest jobs or latest post. Right. So once this comes, so Salesforce Marketing Cloud, all the posts which are there will be sorted. Right. And now from here on, you can start looking into the posts which are there, which requires jobs. For example, this one, this post. Okay, this post is the job post which has got somewhere over there a marketing cloud job as well, or at least they have actually put it across. So that's the reason it was searched. For example, this one, see, and in this you can find the freelance based job as well, contractual job as well, jobs in India from Indian context, and for in any other country if you are there from that context as well. And you can put filters as well. Okay, over here, see right now. What I also do is that I do post from a hashtag called SFMC Guru. You can use this tag SFMC as well to search, and then a lot of people use SFMC or Salesforce Marketing Cloud as a tag to post. That you can use and search over here to get the relevant post with respect to hiring. And as I said, don't be a mute consumer of information. Do contribute from your side. That's very important. Otherwise, let's see, Rishabh's post came as a part of that SFMC search. Okay, if you search for this tag, which I use generally, I do post a lot of, rather repost a lot of job related posts over here. So for example, if I'll just show you, so you can use this. One of the ways of doing this, let me get on to that. So probably it's been some time since I posted for that, but fine. The point is you will get a lot of posts which are asking for jobs over here as a post instead of in this tab. So make use of this post feature over here with the relevant filters. You will get a lot of jobs over here, right? Make use of this feature. Less used feature, but it is very valuable. I do use it a lot. What else was there? Let me just see if there is something left. So this was about this one. Then Trailblazer community events. This goes without saying. These are one of the best factor of the Salesforce ecosystem, where people are happily, freely giving knowledge so that other people can benefit from here, right? So this Kanpur developer group is one of the cases. If you want to go do a search for Trailblazer community, okay, groups, and join groups from everywhere around the world, not necessarily from your local place. You can join absolutely from a local place, but from across the world you can join. Let's say I want to see for Bangalore. I'm from Bangalore, so I'll search for that as well. So that I can do. I can join any group, and then from there on, I can start attending their meetings. Due to COVID, what has happened was everything became online. So it was easy for you to actually attend and present in global places, in international places. So that's another thing that was there. So you can use this site, community event, to actually enhance your knowledge, right? So that was, I think, the last part. And yeah, so again, just to sum it up, three key things. If you don't have a SFMC experience, which a lot of people are struggling with, then see, first thing is you have to persevere. It will take time, but as said, time is subjective. It could be weeks for somebody, months for somebody, days for somebody. So you have to persevere. Second, get certifications. That's one of the very I would say easy way to get noticed in front of the recruiter or the person who is hiring. If you have certifications, that means you have some understanding, knowledge, hands on with that. So do get that. Okay. uh, and the third thing is networking with people like Amit over here, Rishabh over here. These are the people who are actually there to help people. If you reach out to them on their channels, like for example this LinkedIn, they will certainly help you. It might take some time, because remember, everybody is busy. If you'll reach out to me, I might take 2 3 4 days, but certainly I'll respond to you with whatever informations. I do get people asking specific technical queries to me. In some cases I don't know the answer to that, so I redirect you to the right person, or I said I don't know. But I do respond to people. So try and reach out with the mindset of learning. People are there to help, and you will go through that. That's what my simple recommendation is. I mean, small story from my side. I actually left my job. I had around 10 years of experience when I left my job. uh, and then I moved into Salesforce ecosystem, and then that I have done a couple of times. So it's a matter of time. It's a matter of just being positive and doing it through. I moved into Salesforce ecosystem without having any information of Salesforce ecosystem. I had a experience, but believe me, it was a baggage. Because if you have 10 years of experience, companies do consider it as a baggage and liability instead of an asset. So it was difficult for me to convert that understanding of that experience into something which is relevant for Salesforce. So it took some time for me, but certainly it happened. So it will happen same for you as well. So that's what I would say. Necessary amount of positive energy that I want you to go with here. And it's possible. It has been done. It's been done day in and out. It's just a matter of time for you, right? I think, Amit, that's what I wanted to cover from my side. I think I've covered this last slide point, move horizontally, with one of the questions. So I'm good with my side of things. We can take questions if they are extra. I'm presuming there would be.
No, fortunately, we don't have any questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine.
So, yep, I will. Like before I hand it over to Rishabh, I'll say thank you everyone for being such a wonderful audience. You have been really, really awesome. And I see that we started with 55 or 56, we went till 70, and we are still having 56 people. So, really, thank you so much for giving your time here. And now we are open. Even if you have any questions, we are still open here. You have any other questions, you wanted to share something, you wanted to discuss something, please feel free to. And I'll just start recording so that we can discuss the things.
Right. Folks, this is your time. If you have any specific queries, doubts, please raise it. We are happy to help. And if not, then we'll try and find out that answer. But yeah, be open, because everybody has, all of us over here have been through that phase which you might be facing. So we might not be able to help you directly, but at least we can be there with some positive energy that it's a phase. You'll get through that.